What's going on, you guys? My name is Zach Hartley, and in this video I am going to give you a full tutorial and review of the Questrade trading platform. I've been using it for over a year now, and I got a couple of tips and tricks that I'd like to share. Here we go. Okay, so in this video, we're gonna cover a variety of things, starting with the advantages of Questrade compared to your regular bank brokerage. Then we're gonna go onto the website and we're gonna look at the different account types and break those down. I'm gonna go through the trading fees and what it's gonna cost you to actually trade on Questrade. And then we're gonna do a brief walkthrough of both their online platform as well as IQ Edge, which is their basically actual trading software. I'm gonna show you how it works, and then I'm gonna show you how I set up my charts and I place my orders. And then we're gonna finish it off with my final review and verdict, and that's going to be the video. So before we get started, just to let you know, I have been using Questrade for about a year now, and because of that, I've also signed up for their affiliate program. If you guys are interested in using the platform after you watch this video, there's a link down below that will give you $50 in free commissions. So whatever trades you make, those first couple of commissions are going to be totally free. You're going to get a rebate after you make them, and it is great for starting out because it gives you the ability to try out Questrade, and if you don't like it, it's not even going to cost you a commission. So without any further ado, let's start talking about the differences between Questrade and a normal bank brokerage. I was using RBC before, but if you're using TD or Scotia, it doesn't really matter. Any of those major banks pretty much have all the exact same kind of investing platform. And so what I want to do here is talk about the advantages of Questrade over that standard investing platform. Now, again, everything is going to be timestamped, so if you want to skip ahead of this, no problem at all. Just definitely kind of scroll through or check out the description where the links are going to be at, as well as the different timestamps. But first of all, the advantages of Questrade over your bank. Number one, and the biggest thing for me, is that I pay lower commissions when I use Questrade compared to RBC or Scotia or TD. For instance, with RBC and basically any of those platforms, you're going to pay $9.99 to buy and sell a stock. With Questrade, I am paying $5 to buy and sell both stocks and options, and if it's an ETF, it is also sometimes free. So really big advantage there just in terms of commissions. If you switch to Questrade or any of the day trading brokerages, you're pretty much going to save money on commissions, almost guaranteed. After that, the next big advantage, and the one that I take most advantage of, is that there's more order options. So for example, on RBC, you cannot place a trailing stop loss. So what I mean by a trailing stop loss is if you're in Apple at 100 and you have a stop loss at $10, that's okay. But if you have a trailing stop loss at $10, as Apple goes up, your stop loss will go up. So as Apple, if it hits $200 and then comes back down, your trailing stop loss will move up with that and it will get you out of the trade. That is something that is really nice when you're trading, especially if you're trading anything volatile, because it will get you out of the trades when the stock turns around. You cannot do that on RBC or TD or Scotia or any of those platforms. The next one is interactive charts. So for instance, that exact stop loss, I can go to my chart, I can click on that stop loss and I can move it anywhere I want on that price chart. That's another thing that you just can't do on any of the main platforms. You get better analytics, you get better data, and you get to use all of that data and analytics in the same platform that you place the orders on. So everything is completely integrated, which is really nice. And then once you get used to it and you want real-time data that isn't delayed by 15 minutes when you start swing trading or day trading, you can get that through Questrade, but it's really difficult to get if you're going through a bank platform, and you almost cannot get level 2 data if you're going through a bank platform. Now, level 2 data refers to the number of orders and the size of orders at different price levels. So what you can see basically when you're trading is you get level 1 data where you can basically see the price action as it's live and as it's moving. Level 2 will show you how many orders are at that level as well as the orders above it and below it. So if Apple is moving up to $110, but there is a ton of people that have orders to sell at $110, you can see that in the level 2 data. That is the advantage there, and you can only get that through a day trading or brokerage account like what Questrade offers. You cannot get that on RBC or BMO or TD or any of the big banks. Now, there are some definite disadvantages to trading with Questrade compared to those banks, and the number one thing is longer transfer times. To get your money in and to get your money out is not going to take 1 or 2 days. It's probably going to take 3 to 5 days, just because all of those accounts have to clear. They're not fully integrated, and you're sending money from one entity to another entity, and that takes a little bit of time, especially when it is a trading account and when you're buying and selling shares. So the transfer times are usually a little bit longer compared to moving money from your checking account to your investing account. And if you use everything on RBC, it is definitely going to take a little bit longer, and you also have to have a minimum of $1,000 to get started on Questrade. Questrade. So those are the comparisons and the differences between your bank and the Questrade platform. Now what we want to do is go into Questrade and start looking at the pricing and the account types. Okay, so I'm in my Chrome browser here. I'm just gonna open up a new tab and just go www.questrade.com. And that should take me to the home page. So this is the home page of Questrade. The first thing we're gonna do is look at the different account types. So you just go to open an account. Now I highly recommend you use my link because this is where you're gonna be able to get $50 in free commissions. When you use that link, it'll basically take you to the same page, but you'll get that added onto your account. Now, as you can see, we have a variety of different things here. So margin account, tax-free savings account, retirement savings plan, and Forex and CFDs. I'm gonna break all of these down for you right now. So a margin account and the Forex and CFD accounts are both non-registered, whereas your TFSA and your RSP accounts are registered. What registered means is that they are registered with the government, and because they're registered, they get certain tax advantages. Now, your tax-free savings account gives you tax advantages on your capital gains. So if you pay taxes on your income from your salary or your job, and then you have that money left over and you invest it into your tax-free savings account and you buy stocks with that money, if those stocks go up over time, you are not taxed on that capital gain as long as it's within your TFSA account. That's the advantage there. You get tax advantages after you pay your income tax and invest that money. The RSP is the exact opposite thing, where you get a tax advantage before you pay your income tax. So if you have a retirement plan set up with your employer and you make monthly contributions to your retirement savings plan, that money is coming off your paycheck before you pay income taxes on it, and that is your tax advantage. It gives you more money to invest into your retirement pre-tax. So the TFSA is a post-income tax advantage and the RSP is a pre-income tax advantage. Both of them have great advantages. If you're planning to buy a house, I highly recommend the RSP because you can withdraw that. And if you're planning for long-term investments and retirements, the TFSA is a great option if you're doing anything with big gains on it, because you get to basically save that capital gains tax, which is absolutely phenomenal. Now the other two accounts here, Forex and CFDs, this is literally for just trading Forex pairs. I don't really recommend it if you're trying to get into the stock market. What I do recommend though is the margin account. Now margin basically means that Questrade is going to allow you to borrow money from Questrade depending on the securities that you own. So if you put $5,000 into your account and you buy all Apple shares or you buy all S&P 500 stocks, those type of things, Questrade is going to allow you to borrow money from them to invest into them. You have the option though. So if you want to use this as a strictly cash account where you don't borrow any money, I highly recommend that. It's a great plan. However, if you set up a margin account, you then have the option to borrow money and take out leverage against your trades. What I mean by that is that if you buy Apple and you put $1,000 into it, you can borrow $1,000 of Questrade's money and you can double your return, but you also double your risk. That's the advantage of a margin account, but you have the option of whether or not to borrow that money. So it also operates as a cash account. So that is a summary of the accounts and that is how they are set up. You can also go with a Quest Wealth portfolio where they will basically invest your money for you. But here we are trying to learn about how to invest in the stock market. And if you're not sure how to do that, then you should definitely consider signing up for my course on Skillshare. It is hosted there and it is completely free when you sign up for a 2-week free trial. There's over 9 hours of content. There's over 1,400 students. There's over 90 plus reviews for you to read through. And it is hosted on Skillshare and you get the entire thing free if you can complete it in under 2 weeks and then cancel your subscription. I highly, highly recommend it if you have any questions about the stock market or how to get started. Now, let's dive right in to the pricing on Questrade because this is really, really important. And I mentioned it earlier that I save money using Questrade compared to RBC or any of the bank brokerages. So let's go pricing and then we're going to go self-directed investing pricing. And here it is. So trading fees, we keep the cost low, you keep more of the money. So stocks are 1 cent per share with a minimum of $5 and a maximum of $10. So if you're buying anything under 500 shares, it's only going to cost you $5, which is really, really nice. ETFs are pretty much free, but they do cost you a little bit of money to sell. And options are still $9.95. So this is pretty much what it looks like if you are just going to set up and be a long-term investor. You don't have to pay for any data. You don't have to pay for a monthly subscription. There's no ongoing fee, there's no setup fee. It is completely free, and then you pay this amount based on how much you trade and what you invested. If you're trading in Forex or CFDs, there's some other fees on there as well, and there's some other options. Now, if you're interested in swing trading or day trading, you are going to need some market data, and this is what's really important. So basic is market data, but you're delayed by 15 minutes. You can get snap quotes, which means you click a button and it'll tell you exactly what the price is, but a lot of the data you get is going to be delayed by 15 minutes. So it makes it really, really difficult to day trade. If you want to day trade, you are going to need one of the enhanced or advanced packages. So when we go to enhanced streaming, this is $20 per month Canadian, and it is going to give you level 1 snap quotes, but it's going to give you real-time data. So when you look at a chart and you see the price moving, there's not going to be a 15-minute delay on that, and it's going to help you out if you're day trading. It's going to be really nice, and depending on how much money you spend on commissions, it is actually going to give you the entire fee back at the end of the month. So if you make 10 trades at $5 a trade, you're going to get the entire data package for free, which is really, really nice. Now, the advanced packages include level 2 data for either the United States or for either Canada. Now, what's really, really interesting here is that when you buy the level 2 data package, you actually get reduced rates again. And so sometimes, depending on how much you trade, it can be better to buy the advanced data package than the enhanced data package, because you're actually going to save more money. So really, really interesting. You need to do the math on it, and it kind of helps if you know what trader you are, what type of trader you are, and how often you're going to be trading. But do the math on it, because a lot of the time it will be cheaper to do the advanced package, pay $90 per month, but you'll get the money back in the rebate here, depending on how many commissions you pay and whether or not you need level 2. Remember, level 2 is the ability to see what other orders are out there. So if Apple is approaching 140 and it's an all-time high and it's peaked at 140 3 times, you can see how many orders are stacked up at 140 and 141 to sell those shares, and it can really help you out if you're swing trading or day trading. Now, just to go through a list of their other fees, to open and close an account is totally free. The TFSAs and RRSPs to link it to your accounts is totally free. There's no inactivity fees, which is really, really nice. If you want to do a deregistration, it costs $100, but it's not really a big deal. Transfers and withdrawals up to $50,000 and USD up to $25,000 is completely free. Anything over that, there is a wire transfer fee, but really it's not too much. None of it is big. If you want to get it in a check, it's going to cost you 75 bucks, but really it's not too big. The certificates and the documents, I don't think I've ever paid any of these fees, and I think it's I think honestly the fees on Questrade are really, really good. Now, the one thing you do need to know is that if you trade on margin, or if you ever borrow money from Questrade, you are probably going to pay between 3 and 7% annually on that money, or you can convert your money before you make that trade and you can pay the quick conversion fee. I highly recommend paying the conversion fee rather than borrowing the money from Questrade if you are long-term trading. If you are day trading and you don't hold it overnight, there is no fee at all, but if you're swing trading, sometimes borrowing the money can definitely be more convenient. Okay, so now we've gone through the difference between Questrade and your bank, we've gone through the pricing, and we've broken down the 4 different types of accounts that you can get into. Now we are gonna log into Questrade online and take a quick look at the web broker, but it is very, very similar to your bank broker. So we're only gonna spend a quick minute on it. I'm gonna walk you through it, and then we're gonna dive into IQ Edge, which is Questrade's basically downloadable software, which is what I use and most traders will use when they use Questrade, because it is really, really nice, it's efficient, and it's a very in-depth software, but it's easy to use, and I'm gonna walk you through it. Okay, so first thing we do to get into the web broker is just click login. My info should be here and ready to go. Always enable 2-step authentication when you set up your account. I've had a couple of people try and hack me, and 2-step authentication definitely saves you butt. So we put this in. Okay, and here's my account. So as you can see, I'm currently borrowing $27 in cash, so not really a big deal. And the market value of my portfolio is about $5,500. So I could sell a stock and clear that off pretty quick. I'm not too worried about it. I am paying about 5% interest on that, but not really a big deal. Now, what's kind of cool here is this is kind of your dashboard. And so if we want to go in and we want to start trading, you just choose your different accounts. So I have a tax-free savings account, and then I also have my individual margin account. That is what we're going to go into right now. So this is how you can dive into the account and see what is in there, and then when you want to make a stock trade, you go to this button in the top corner here, you click on trade, and then you can basically go through and execute any of your orders similarly to how you would with your bank brokerage or with any other platform. You type in Apple stock here, it pops up just like this, and then you click on buy or sell. The window comes up in the right hand side here, and you can choose your different order types. Now what's really nice is on the web broker, you get just as many order types as you do on IQ Edge. So you do get all of the options and availability on the web broker, but it's a little bit limited on the charting aspects, and so that's what we're going to dive into next. So this is what the web broker looks like, buy and sell, and then you can look at your portfolio, you can see how you're doing. Here is where my account is at right now. You can see all of my positions, and you can basically go through. As you can see, we're doing extremely well. So where's my profit and loss? We're doing pretty good. We're down on 1, 2, 3, 4 stocks right now, but we're up pretty big on several others, starting with Dragonfly, which is doing extremely well. I got in at an average price of 82 cents. It's now $1.84. We've more than doubled our money, so doing extremely well on these stocks. Now, on the left-hand side here, you can go through your watch list, you can go through different stocks that you're watching, and you can basically break down different types of things. You can even buy options on here, but what I want to do is dive into IQ Edge because that is the best software that Questrade offers. Okay, so this is what the home screen of Questrade looks like. It is really simple, and it is basically a dashboard that you can set up however you'd like. Now, first thing I want to point out is here down on the left, you basically have different tabs, and when you click on the different tabs, they're kind of like workbooks that you can set up individually. So I have a simple tab down here that will pull up a chart and my watch list. When I click on that, you can see exactly what you're looking at. This is basically a simple tab that I've built out to show me a watch list on the right and a chart on the left. But I'm going to go back to workspace 1 because this is a blank screen that we are going to build out ourselves. But what I want to show you there is it's really nice because if you mess up one, or you just want a clean start, or you want to start over, or you want to set up multiple different types of screens, you can do all of that right here. So really nice. And then in the top here, this is basically all of the options that you have on Questrade. So starting on the left-hand side here is your account. This is where you're going to see all of your positions and all of your holdings, and you can basically see everything that is in your portfolio. So right here, you can see I've got $5,500. I'm borrowing $27, and here are all of my positions. You can see all of your orders, all of your active positions, all of your executions over the last however long you want to look at, so 10 days, and then you can see your balances and how much room you can still borrow. So your account is basically going to be your summary of how you are doing. Level 1 is basically an update on the stock. So if you're going to go to Yahoo Finance and type in Apple, this is where you're going to get the exact same information if you click on that level 1 button. Level 2 is where you're going to get to see the orders that are stacked up behind the price. So this is what I was referring to before. So right now we're looking at Apple, and as you can see, there are people that are willing to buy at $126.88, and they're willing to buy actually 40,000 shares. So this is actually something multiplied by 100. So another person is willing to buy at $126.83, and he's willing to buy about 100 shares. There's another order at 125, and he's willing to buy 200 shares. So if the price drops, it's going to fill these orders, and then the exact same thing on the other side. If the price goes up, it's going to fill these orders. So that's what level 2 looks like. You can also go into the options here, but we're not going to dive into that. That is a derivative and basically a ability to buy the stock at a certain price at a later date. If you're interested in that, I do have a course on that on my Skillshare. Definitely check out the links below. And then order entry. This is where you're going to place your orders, and we're going to dive into this shortly, but I want to talk about the chart button. So this is where you are actually going to be able to pull up the chart and look at a stock. So if you want to change the stock, instead of Apple, let's type in Microsoft. You can put it up right there, and then you can see the chart really nice. You can move the volume, and then up here is where you add in the different overlays. So let's say that you wanted to add the MACD. All you would do is go to trend indicators and MACD with histogram. I know you guys can't see this drop down menu right now, but when you click on studies or you click on drawings, there's a drop down menu, and then you can add in whatever options you want. Sorry about the drop down menu. My screen recorder just doesn't capture it. But here is where you're going to choose what you want on the chart. And then when you go to drawings, I can choose on the trend line option, and I can start to draw trends on the chart. So really, really nice, simple software. You can just go through and you can play with all the tools in here. It's going to take you a day or two to get used to everything, but it is all right there and it is readily available. Now, the next thing that I want to point out to you is the watch list button. So that is right here, and this is really cool because if you can set this up on the same screen like what I had on my simple dashboard there, there's a button right here. It kind of looks like a chain, and when you click on it, it gives you a drop down menu with different colors. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to click on the blue color, and then when I go to my watch list and I do the same thing and I click on the blue color, what it has done now is it has linked up these two windows. So now the chart is going to be connected to my watch list, and when I click on a stock on my watch list, it is going to show me that basically stock chart, which is really, really nice. If you want to add in a watch list or add in any of your own stocks, you just go to new watch list and fill out the form. Here are some of my watch lists. So I was looking at the electric vehicle stocks. As you can see, it was a terrible day for anybody that owns electric vehicle stocks. Everything was down. But as you can see, it's really nice because you can go through your watch list and say, okay, hey, I think there's an opportunity in Helion. Let's place an order on Helion. And after you've gone through your watch list, it's really simple. And then you pull up the order entry form. So the exact same button that was there before. You click on this basically chain again, you choose the color that you want. So now I've got my order entry form on blue, I've got my watch list on blue, and I've got my stock chart on blue. If I go to Fisker, for instance, everything changes, including my order entry, which is so nice. And this is what I meant by everything links up, which is absolutely fantastic. And so let's just place an order on Fisker. Let's say I want to buy in at $15.25 and I want to buy just one share. We're going to place a limit order at $15.20. This is going to be good for the day. If you want it to be good forever, you would click on good till close, so good till you close the order. Or you're gonna leave the route as auto, and then you're gonna choose the account that you want, and then all you're gonna do is click on buy. It's gonna give you a pop-up window. You're gonna click on confirm, and then you are all set to go. If you're interested in learning how to use the hotkeys for Questrade, I do have a video on that of how you can program it into your keyboard. It is really simple, but you can also just go to settings and then look up the hotkeys so that you can basically make all of those actions with just a push of a button. It is really nice and really easy. Now, the last things that I wanna show to you are the market view. So if you pull this up, it will basically give you a full rundown and overview of what the market looks like, and you can choose whichever index you'd like. So the TSX, the S&P 500, you can choose whichever one you like, and you can see how the market is doing and how everybody is doing. So really great way to start your day. And then I highly recommend you create a couple of different watch lists. I have the personal list here where I have mushroom stocks, I've got electric vehicle stocks, I've got technology stocks, and I highly recommend it because then you can just kind of click through and you can go through all of your charts in a matter of 5 or 10 minutes to identify the best opportunities. You can execute the orders on here, and it is really simple and easy to use. Now, there's a variety of other tools up here, but most of them are used for research and basically analyzing different stocks and analyzing different positions. So you can click on them one at a time and take a look through, but I'm not going to break down every single one in this video. What I do want to do is jump back to the PowerPoint and give you a couple of tips and tricks as well as my final review. Okay, you guys, so here are a couple of tips and tricks for using Questrade. Number one is that if you're going to trade a Canadian security, it needs to be a limit order. Whether it's a stop limit or a trailing stop limit order, it needs to be some form of limit order. Otherwise, Questrade just won't accept it. Also, if you're going to be trading any US securities, if you do it long term, I highly recommend changing your currency before you make the trade. If you're going to be day trading or swing trading, it might be more convenient and just less of a hassle to borrow the money from Questrade. Either option will work, but you will need a margin account. If you plan to buy a house anytime in the near future, definitely set up an RSP account. Otherwise, a TFSA is probably going to be the best long-term option for paying as little tax as possible on your capital gains. And my best advice at all for Questrade is use the bracket order option. It is the ability to place one order to buy Apple at 100. You can take your profit at 120 and you can set your stop loss at 90. You can do literally all of that in one transaction by using a bracket order in Questrade. If you're interested in learning more about that, I do have a video. I'll throw up the thumbnail right now. I also have a variety of other videos on my YouTube channel that help you basically walk through Questrade, examine all the features, pre-market and post-market trading, level 2, everything that you need. Everything is on my YouTube channel, so definitely consider subscribing and checking out those videos. And lastly, my review and opinion of Questrade is that I think Questrade is a phenomenal platform for Canadians to invest or trade on. I think it's really good for day trading and swing trading, and if you set up a TFSA or an RSP, I think it's absolutely phenomenal for long-term investing as well. As long as you're active and you actually make a couple of trades, Questrade is definitely going to be better than your traditional bank. Now, if you don't like Questrade or there are a couple features that just didn't work for you, I also recommend Interactive Broker. That seems to be the #2 option for Canadians. And if you're interested in any more information or you want to sign up for Questrade or sign up for my stock market course, definitely check out the links below. Everything is down in there as well as the timestamps for this video. And if you get any value out of it, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button. I sincerely appreciate it. My only goal is to help you make more money, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.